It's official, fall is here, and we are going to put together some pumpkin granola cookies. So stay tuned. Now I'm going to be using some unsweetened almond milk to make my pumpkin spice drink this morning. And I'm going to put in about a half cup. And this is a 1 cup measure. This is my little coffee cup, and yes, it measures exactly 1 cup. I've even tested it with a measuring cup to make sure that it's exact. I'm also going to add in a couple of teaspoons of pumpkin. So there's 1, and I think I'll put in 2. Now, in addition to that, now of course, because we're preparing this for coffee, we're going to need to warm this up. Now I need, this one hasn't been opened. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I need a little pumpkin pie spice, and I'm just going to shake a little in, and I'm just putting a little in because you know we can always add more if we want it. So I'm just giving this a little stir. I haven't put any sweetener in because I'll do that when I add the coffee. But I'm going to put this in the microwave and let it warm up for about 30 seconds maybe. But I want to make sure this is well mixed because I don't like clumpy pumpkin when I'm trying to drink. Now all of this will soften soon. As you can see, it's changed colors. It's got the orangey color. You can smell the cinnamon and the nutmeg and allspice, all those good spices. So let's get this into the microwave. Now while my milk is warming up, I'm showing you my fall mug, and it says pumpkin spice and everything nice, and it's in cream with gold designs on it. And guess what? It is time to get some coffee. Now I've brought you to the beverage bar, kind of pointed you in that direction, and hopefully I'll be able to pretty much stay out of the light. But I wanted you to see I have our coffee mugs here, and I go through this process every day. So I'm going to put in my coffee. I'm going to fill it probably, since it's a large mug, about halfway. And then I'm going to add in my pumpkin spice and almond milk mixture. And I'm going to use about half initially. Now I need a napkin. And you know what? The big guy used all of our napkins. So let me go get a napkin. Okay, we got our napkin in place. So I'm just going to sit that right there. Let me get our spoon, which is here on the bar as well. Get those out. Give it a stir. Now for me, I know I'm going to need a little extra. So I'm just going to add all of that for me. Oh, now that's perfect. Now I'm going to keep this off to the side just in case I decide I want a second cup. So that's cup number 1. Now the big guy wants his just a regular coffee, and we have his coffee mug. So I'll get him ready, and while we're doing that, he's going to need a little creamer. I'll turn him around. I've got hot chocolate, I've got tea, I've got a pumpkin spice tea that is delicious. And I'll link that down below because I do believe I got that from Amazon last fall. And I still had some bags left. So I am going to just keep that there so I can use those this year. And I'll probably reorder so that I know for sure that I'll have them for next fall. So the Big Guy's coffee's ready. Everybody's there and ready to have their autumn greetings. So we're all dressed up for autumn, ready for our fall. So let's get his coffee. And I'm letting mine cool just a tiny bit because it was pretty hot. Man, that pumpkin spice tastes delicious. Okay, Big Guy's ready. And we're ready to get our day started. This is perfect. That was about a half cup of almond milk and 2 teaspoons of actual pumpkin, not pumpkin pie, pure pumpkin, and a little shake of pumpkin pie spice. And it makes a delicious coffee. You get to adjust the sweetness, and the coffee is already served. So I hope it's good for you because it's certainly good for me. Well, this morning we had a delicious pumpkin spice coffee, and I thought, pumpkin, we need breakfast pumpkin cookies, and that's exactly what we're going to put together. Well, it's amazing the things that you can do with 1 can of pumpkin. Pumpkin bread, pumpkin cookies, and all kinds of goodies. So today we are working on pumpkin cookies. And these pumpkin cookies are going to come together very quickly, and they're going to be nice. We're going to make them a little soft, but a little crunchy. They're going to have nuts, they're going to have raisins, and they're going to be absolutely wonderful. And also the good thing about these pumpkin cookies, they are going to be healthy in addition to tasting good. Because you know, sometimes things taste wonderful, and once you say they're healthy, then it's kind of like everybody gives it a thumb down. But when it's healthy, you can have it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or dessert, then it's a winner. So let's get turned around and ready to go. All right, now in my bowl, I have 1.5 cups of flour. And to that, I'm going to add some baking soda. Now today, I'm using self-rising flour, and so therefore, it already has its baking soda. But if you were using all-purpose flour, then you would add in a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. So we're good to go. All right, next, we're going to add in some ground cinnamon. You get a spoon. I'm going to put in a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Teaspoon ground cinnamon. And I'm going to add in some pumpkin pie spice. Hoping this is a little slimmer top. And it smells so good. Now, technically, you could have put together your own pumpkin pie spice. It has a little bit of cinnamon, so that's why I didn't go crazy with the cinnamon over here. So I'm going to add in, I think I probably have just enough of our pumpkin pie spice right there. Now, our pumpkin pie spice, this is McCormick, and I love McCormick. McCormick has great spices, and they're very true. Pumpkin pie spice has cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, allspice. There we go. You know, allspice is one of those things that most of us don't keep on the shelf. So that's the reason why I usually buy the mix, just in case. Now I'm going to add in just a smidget of, just a little extra smidget of nutmeg. Just a little. And now I'm going to mix all of that up real good. And you'll know when it's all well mixed, because you won't be able to tell where things are, and you're going to be able to smell. Oh, it smells divine. All right, so we're mixing this up and trying to just get all of those flavor profiles ready to go, because as far as I'm concerned, now I have to tell you, I really prefer sweet potato over pumpkin, especially if I'm doing pies or cakes. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, so we've got our dry ingredients in. I have raisins here because we're going to be adding raisins. And I also have some granola. So, I need a large egg. I really didn't think it was too early in the morning, but I can tell you I hadn't had my coffee, and I thought I had turned my camera on instead of turning it off. And unfortunately, the last part of the cookie portion I didn't get. So I, of course, have the recipe down at the bottom. Now, where we're going to pick up is going to be after the cookies have been in the refrigerator and started to solidify, get nice and cold. And in fact, I ended up, because we got busy during the day, I put them into the freezer, and so I could slice and bake them at another time. So that's where we're going to pick up. Well, here's the cookie roll that we put in the, actually I put it in the freezer so that it would kind of solidify. And what that will do is that when I put it on the cookie sheet, the cookies won't spread as far. So I'm going to get a knife, and we are going to slice and bake these cookies. I'm going to start in the center. And yes, remember, they're frozen, so they're supposed to be a little difficult to take apart. So let's get them unrolled. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to give it about a finger width per cookie. See if I can get these sliced pretty nice. The more solid they are, the better they slice. Otherwise, we're going to have to, you can see this one fell apart. I think that may be the knife. So I'm just going to kind of pile them up right there and push and get them right in there. Let's see if I can get a better knife. Okay. I don't usually have that much trouble. You know what it is? It's those frozen raisins. It's giving me a hard time. Okay. There we go. I'm going to put 3 across. Now, if you opt not to freeze them, that's fine. That's up to you. Any little bits and pieces, just stick on a cookie and it will all meld together. And I'll get 3 more, and then that will be enough for Papa and I. The cool thing about these cookies is that I really didn't have a recipe. The recipe was mine, and in my head, I took a little bit of what I knew about flour and baking soda and throwing in the granola. I couldn't really find a recipe that really fit what I wanted, so I had to do it on my own. So we're going to take these cookies off the sheet, and I can smell the flavors that I wanted to smell. So I'm very pleased with what we have. Well, it is another absolutely gorgeous day. And those pumpkin spice cookies, they're good. So I brought them out here. Not all of them, of course. I brought 2 for me. And I am just biting into them. Hope you can see how chewy they are. And the bottoms brown up very light, kind of a light brown. I don't think you want them to get too terribly dark on the bottom. And took about 12 to 15 minutes for them to cook. And anyway, they are delicious. They add just enough crunch for you to get your crunch on, and just enough sweet so that your coffee, or whatever your beverage is of choice, is delicious. Now, enjoy your evening, because I am. We are going to have some coffee, and today, instead of making the pumpkin spice from pumpkin puree, we are going to use the Torani pumpkin pie. Oh, that's going to be so good. Now, can you hear the coffee maker going? It's working. This is my Cuisinart coffee maker that I've had for probably about 8 years, and I tell you what, that baby's still humming. So, and we have coffee every day. So this is where we are. This is what we're going to be doing. And you know what else I'm going to put out? Those delicious pumpkin cookies. So let me get those. Well, guys, we've got the dishwasher going, the coffee maker is going, and there are just all kinds of breakfast sounds that are in the process of operating. So I'm going to put the cookies out so when the big guy gets his coffee, he can grab a cookie. These cookies are delicious. They're moist. They have a little bit of crunch from the granola that we added, which gives it nice body as well, and also keeps them fairly soft. So those are cookies for this morning to have with our cup of coffee. I'm going to take my cup out and get the big guy's cup out. My cup today says give thanks, and he's the boss, or so he thinks he is anyway. So, autumn blessings to you. Well, let's get the show on the road. And I'm first going to prepare the big guys. He has the creamer and his sweetener in. So I'm going to prepare his coffee. And with the Torani, you start with 2 tablespoons. And then from there, you can add, or of course we can't subtract at that point, but you'll know the next day how much syrup you like. And it is a syrup. I did not do light. I just went with regular sugar. So there's the big guys. His cup, the boss, is ready. Now for me, I have some almond milk, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of pumpkin syrup. And this really was a little larger bottle than I had really initially planned to purchase, but you know what, it is what it is. So I'm going to be pumpkin pieing for a while. So there's 1, and there's 2. Okay, so our pumpkin pie spice is just about ready. I'm going to give it a little zhuzh, and then add the coffee. Now I like a little creamer, a little coffee in my creamer. So yes, I probably have a little more creamer than what most people do. I use about of almond milk because it's unsweetened and it's pretty light. I use about 3/4 of a cup that I heat up of almond milk. So we're ready, and ready for morning coffee. So we're giving thanks today for the fact that we woke up this morning, and goodness knows, keep everyone in prayer, because so many people are going through things, and with COVID still rampant, people still dying, please pray for their families daily. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin. While pumpkin isn't necessarily that fruit that's at the top of my list, the reality of it is that I do like it. I love pumpkin spice coffee, and that's something that when I'm going to Starbucks, that's one of the things that I ask for, either that or a pumpkin spice latte. But since I'm not frequenting Starbucks right now, I will make my own. And you know what? It is so convenient with this Torani pumpkin pie syrup. You just put those 2 tablespoons of Torani into your cup, add whatever creamer and sweetener that you like, and you have a delicious cup of coffee to start your day. And oh my goodness, to top it off and have a breakfast cookie on the side. Pumpkin. I love it all the way. Now, guys, I am so glad that you decided to come and visit the kitchen this morning. And I am so glad that you stayed and that we had a good time. We were able to, what I call, play together and just chit chat and enjoy the moment. So come back another day. For those of you who are not family members, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and that you will not miss another adventure at Ebony, Ivy, and Time, where we work hard, we love God and family, and we know without a doubt that everything else is just gravy. God bless you, and I'll see you soon right here in the kitchen.